Guys, let's get this thing started. The Sooners will get us started with the opening kickoff. And here's the return. Looking to throw, it's Reed. Shoots it to the left. He's got it. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he stopped, and it'll be first down.
Great job by the quarterback thrown against zone coverage. You cannot telegraph where you're throwing the football. You cannot eyeball wide receivers. So great job by the quarterback using his eyes, not staring down his guy, and then throwing him open.
With a first down, they'll snap it from the 32. They're going to test the right side with this one. Got the first down and still on his feet. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. Foundation of Aggie football built on toughness like that, running it like John David Crow back in the day.
And those Texas people are tough and rugged, and they wear their great outfits that you love to watch. But these Aggies, I think they're at their best when they got great running backs. And you've seen Spiller and A-Chain in recent history finding those game breakers, those game busters that can make big plays.
They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
And runs like that are like body blows in a boxing match. 4, 5, 6-yard gains early turn into 20, 30, 40-yard gains later. They really wear down defenses, and they test their physicality.
The play action fake. Here he goes breaking the pocket. He's going to run it. And he's almost to that first down marker there, saying he's a little bit short. They might want to bring out the sticks and measure, but it looks as if he'll be just short of the first down. The Aggies are facing 3rd and inches. Motion from the back. Looking for a man. It's Reed. He's got the tight end. Putting together a real scoring threat here as they pick up the first down at the 36.
And had they not picked up that first down, it would have been decision time for the head coach, right? You're kind of in no man's land on the fridge. Are you trying a long field goal? Are you going for it on 4th down? But because of the execution there and the nice throw, let's keep this drive going. Let's see if we can get 6.
To the ground with the back. They get him down, but he does pick up 3 to the 32-yard line.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Quarterback making checks. Looking to fire. Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39.
And how about the inside linebacker flying through there? You see those guys come up, and you see how fast they can come up and fit the run. But how about blitzing the quarterback, getting to the quarterback, getting the big sack?
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Got a man in the middle. Sometimes you see the offenses sort of settle in, find areas to probe after that first quarter. They've got a first down here to open the period. From the gun, the ground game. Quick spin on the run. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening.
Well, wasn't a great start for this quarterback, but on this drive, he seems to be turning the corner. He just looks like he's playing in a different rhythm. He's seeing the field better. It's almost as if the game is starting to slow down for him. And I think on that last completion, it was a good example of that.
It's 1st and goal as Texas A&M comes to the line. Looking to throw, it's Reed. Well, the quarterback can make a big play when he starts moving around. And that one is right on target if his target was the first row.
And you just got to wonder if the pass rush affected the QB's accuracy on that throw. He had his guy wide open in the end zone, but he had to throw it a split second faster than he wanted to, and the ball got away from him.
Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal? Handoff from the gun. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Texas A&M.
You talk about ball control offense. This offense just held the ball for the whole first quarter and then some. Strung a drive together, making the great plays when they needed them. That's a great opening statement from this offense.
Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the PAT makes it 7-0. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And they finished it off with the score from the 4. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And as the ball makes its way into the end zone, it'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Caught in the backfield, it's Lewis. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Down to 2 minutes to play in the half. The referees signal for the 2-minute timeout. Offense gets set for 2nd down. Trying play action. Going downfield for the big play. It's caught.
And what a massive play for the offense. Not only getting the football across the 50, but they've now put themselves in position to steal a few more points here before the half.
They'll snap this one from the 42. It's 1st and 10. Scanning the field, it's Mateer. Get it out on the screen. Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a 1st down at the 31.
Well, they pick up the 1st down there on the screen. I love the offensive line there, allowing the pass rush to get way up the field. They completely baited their guys, made them think that they got beaten, that they were going to get the sack, and then they sneak the running back screen right in behind them and pick up the first.
And there's so much for a quarterback to think about. Stick it out of the belly. Do I pull it? Now when I pull it, oh, I got to get my feet set, make an accurate throw to the right guy. So a lot of things going on, and I think that you saw that led to a little bit of inaccuracy.
He wants to throw it again. Snagged in the middle. It's Sategna. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the 1st down.
That receiver found the open space in the zone coverage, and as a defense, honestly, you just throw your hands up on that because they covered it pretty well. It was just a good play call and really nice execution.
Caught over the middle. It's up. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long.
Base 27 jump. Base 27 jump.
Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half. Finds his big tight end. Now the connection takes it to the 11. So an example of a tight end doing a little unheralded work to set up a much better 3rd down situation.
And I like the QB here, Reese. I like the decision where I understand, let's get this football out, let's get some positive yards, and then get to 3rd down, and we can still have a better situation now because we got rid of the football and took the yards that were there.
They get him stopped at the 5-yard line, but it will be 1st and goal from there. Clock stops momentarily for the 1st down. They'll hurry to the line. He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling. Clock's running, and they'll try to get to the line. Warp speed for 2nd. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Sooners!
That's a great job of just trusting your offensive line to get it done, scoring the touchdown. An extra point's going to tie this thing up right before halftime. And after that run, I think they're going to feel more confident running it in the 2nd half.
They'll line up to go for 2. He's into the end zone for the 2, and he gives them the lead.
Gotta love the execution. Not easy to throw down here, but the quarterback made a good read, accurate throw, and they come away with 2 points.
So here comes the kickoff after the touchdown, and the last thing you need right before the half is to give up a big return. And there will be no return on this one as the ball bounds into the end zone. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the 1st half. The give to the tailback. Really nice job to squirt his way up to the 31-yard line. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Here's the pressure. Fires to the big fella. A pickup of 5 marks it at the 36-yard line. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. Just enough time for one final play of the half. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. To the air, it's Reed. Looking to the big tight end. A strike downfield. They finally make the stop, and that one will make those halftime stats look a little nicer as we head to the break. And that'll do it. Here in the 2nd quarter, halftime has arrived, and we head to the studio. Texas A&M has it teed up to start this 2nd half. No reason to risk trying to field that one as it skips through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Finds some fresh air. Runs ahead and powers his way for 4 yards out to the 30. The Sooners moving quickly to the line. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a 1st down. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. He'll be forced out of bounds after the nice gain on the run. And the Sooners in a good spot here with second and short. Oh, better look out! And the defense makes the stop after a minimal gain.
I think if you're the coaching staff, you have to like what you've seen from this guy so far in the game. He's pumped out some really nice runs. Obviously, he's already scored a touchdown. Really nice run there as well. And for me, I would keep thinking about creative ways of getting this guy the ball as the game goes on here in the second half.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
And the offense stays on the field on 4th and 1. I'm not sure they're just trying to make the defense jump. I believe they think they can get it. Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line.
4th and 1, I got to know my situation. I got to know I can't mess around as a running back. I got to get through the hole, make the first down, no matter what. If I got to run somebody over, I'm running straight downhill, straight for those sticks, making sure I get that first down.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll leave it with the lone back. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop. The Sooners come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep the drive moving. They thought they could just run it on 3rd and short, but this defense was there to make the stop.
Yeah, that's a really good job by the defense, because when you get in that 3rd and medium area, listen, you got to be worried about the run and the pass. Did a good job playing both, got it stopped, now forcing a 4th down.
Now this is rolling the dice, or perhaps they've gone outside their head. They're already up. Boy, this could really backfire if they don't convert on 4th down. Makes the grab, plenty for the first down. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch.
You know, you always talk about risk-reward. Gambling and going for it with the lead on 4th down right there and getting it, the reward could be winning the game. That was an unbelievable play. And how about this coaching staff putting their faith in their players to come up with the execution and make it happen?
Really good concept there to get things going and use the tight end early.
Yeah, I mean, just such a great job on first down, setting up an easier second down. Understanding I don't always have to push the ball down the field, but see the tight end, make the throw. No, it's not a big gain, but makes life really easy on me on second down.
The clock winds down to the 2-minute timeout, and this offense will try to drain away the time and secure the victory. If they can move that thing 1 yard here, that'll probably wrap this baby up. Back to throw, it's Mateer. Pressure coming. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the first down, and he slides in safely.
Man, these are killers, right? Late in the game, in the 4th quarter, you're getting to the quarterback, but he does such a great job scrambling around. When you do this, you get extra first downs. You start to wear those defensive linemen out. So late in the game, this could pay off. Great job getting the first down.
The Sooners will have it 1st and 10. Corners showing press. They want to be physical here. They'll try to keep this clock moving on the ground. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. After that last loss, it's 2nd and 12. Gonna run it. It's up. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. How bold will they be on 3rd down after that last run? From the gun, wants to pass. He's got it and still on his feet. Touchdown, Oklahoma! Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. Timing and better execution, that is just what a quarterback and wide receiver need.
And it's timing, it's route running, right? You got to be precise. You got to know exactly what yard you're running to. The quarterback receiver on the same page. That's why you get the touchdown.
Now the 2-point conversion attempt is coming. To the air, it's Mateer. Keeps looking downfield. And the defense on him, and he will go down. Sack on the 2-point try. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Might be changing the route. Looking downfield on 1st down. Complete to the right. There he goes. The 20. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Aggie.
And it's decision time now because you score the touchdown, you're down 1 late. You want to just kick the extra point and tie it up, hope for overtime, or do you go for 2? Do you get aggressive? Do you trust your quarterback if he has to throw it here to find an open player and give you the lead, even though there is still going to be some time left on the clock?
And a little pressure, no problem. The extra point ties the game here in the 4th. The ball will make it into the end zone. No return on that one for a touchback. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Dropping back, it's Mateer. Finds his man. It's Sategna. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line.
You got to give the O-line a lot of credit there because it gave the receiver time to work all the way across the field on the drag route against zone coverage. Quarterback gets it to him. He's able to turn it up and get a 1st down.
Wants to throw on 1st down. Throws to the tight end. Wide open downfield. Oh, and the defense in chase mode, and they finally get him down at the 35. Timeout called by the offense. 23 seconds remaining in the game. They'll snap it on 1st down from the 35. Looking to throw on first down. Steps away. He'll pull it down and run.
And that's exactly what this defense is going to have to do late in this football game. They understand the situation. They're in the full 2-minute drill. They're playing pass, but understanding the quarterback can still run. Nice job playing pass, playing coverage first, protecting yourself, and then rallying to the football and getting the quarterback on the ground.
And the Sooners can really attack on this 2nd and short. Got room to work. Drag down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
You got to have short area quickness. That running back there doing what it takes to make sure he got that first down.
Look out, he's got room. Timeout is called with just a single second left. Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. This defense happy with how that last play turned out, so they'll decline the penalty. That kind of pickup on first down, and you can take a shot here on 2nd and short. Timeout is called with just a single second left. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Looking to pass. It's Mateer. He wants it all. Oh, and it's picked off. This could be huge in a tie game. What a tremendous effort on the final play of regulation, but we've got overtime coming. All right, guys, so here we go in overtime, and just to refresh everyone's memory, alternating possession starting on the opponent's 25.
And it's so nice to be on defense first, just to set the tone, to understand what you need. Try to hold them to a field goal. The offense knows they can do their job to go out and get a win. Just 2 possessions, Palmer. Like, you got to be at your best.
Yeah, and I love the new rules, too, because in the 3rd overtime possession, it goes to alternating 2-point plays, back and forth. Who's got anything left in the tank here in OT?
We'll get it started here in overtime. Now on the move. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Off the play fake. He'll try to do it himself. Short gain on the play before he slides.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have to account for him every single play.
Now to keep this overtime drive going on 3rd and short. This quarterback part of their running game. Touchdown Sooners! They strike first here in overtime.
And I tell you what, Reese, I'm not picking a team unless I got a guy that can do something like this at the quarterback spot. I need an athlete. I need a little bit of mobility. Just dictates too much to the defense. QB runs in for 6.
The all-important extra point would push this lead to 7. And with the extra point, the score is now 21-14. first down they need to answer with a touchdown. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. He wants to change this route. They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game. What a brain cramp. He just lost track of the play clock and gets hit with delay of game on a 2-point conversion attempt. They know what's in front of them. They have to answer that score with a touchdown. Back to pass, it's Reed. Oh, they're after him. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Touchdown, Aggie. They got the score. Now to see if they go for the win or the tie.
Man, what a response. You just gave up 7 on the other side of the field. Every reason to get dejected. Oh, man. But they come out and they respond and they score on the first play. And now, Jesse, down by 1. What do you do?
And they made it look easy too, David, and you got to wonder about this defense and how much they have left in the tank. Because of that, maybe if you're on offense, you just decide to end this thing right here. You scored so easily, maybe you could do the same on a 2-point play.
That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football. We play on first down here in the second overtime period. To the air on first down. A shot toward the end zone. Touchdown, Aggies! That score gives them the lead here in the second overtime. Like a Thanksgiving turkey. They're just being carved. No shot. They have no idea how to get this quarterback's head.
He's on fire. Everything he's doing is working defensively. We got to figure something out. We got to try to do something a little bit different. Bring more pressure. At this rate, shoot, he's on so much fire, you might as well just send everybody. Blitz everybody, live with the results, because everything else ain't working anyways.
They got the touchdown. Now in the second overtime, you have to go for 2. Gets the back moving. Early movement on the offense, and they'll push it back 5 yards. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Second overtime, and they'll have to go for 2. They'll run play action. Forced out of the pocket. Throws for the tight end. They can't convert, and the lead remains at 6, and now they'll have to go on defense.
27, Oklahoma. 21.
Now on first down, they need to answer with a touchdown.
Let's go, let's go.
And those two couldn't make the connection. It's an incomplete pass.
Well, this defense knew coming in they were going to see some RPO and they were going to see some quick game. A nice job there taking the throw away from the quarterback.
So now it's second and long. Dropping back, it's Mateer. Quarterback extends the play. Got out of trouble, got rid of it. Right through his hands. You just have to make that catch, and it'll be third down.
And this is great sudden change defense right now. Of course, this drive started with their backs against the wall. They've now forced 2 straight incompletions. If they can make one more big play here and avoid giving up a touchdown, man, that is a win.
How about getting the foot down on that throw for the big completion?
And that is a huge conversion on 3rd and long for the offense. I think a lot of people thinking, hey, we're just going to try to get a couple yards, help our kicker out here to kick a field goal. But instead, they get a massive play, and now all of a sudden they're thinking touchdown here, 1st and goal.
Touchdown, Oklahoma! That ties it up here in double OT, and now they can win it.
And what a great response by this offense, going down the field, scoring the touchdown. Now I gotta go for 2. I know the new overtime rules, they changed this years ago. Jesse, you should work on this in practice. What's your go-to 2-point play right here?
I'll tell you, after running the ball as well as they did on that last touchdown, I could see them doing it again. I think they've got confidence in the big fellas up front to get it done, find a way into the end zone, and be more physical.
They do not convert, and we are still tied, headed for triple overtime. And now it's all 2-point conversion attempts from here on out. Offense will use a timeout here to make sure everyone is on the same page here in overtime. So here we go, dueling 2-point conversions from this point forward. An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time. What a mess. A delay of game on the 2-point conversion attempt. That just can't happen. And now it's all 2-point conversion attempts from here on out. They got it done. A great play call to give them the lead by 2.
It's all about mental toughness. That's impressive there to get the 2-point play, and now you're putting it on your defense. Can they rise up to the occasion, David, make a play and end this?
Man, and that's what you're doing. You're trying to get energy from it. You're walking over there to them. Guys, we just need one stop. One stop, and we walk out of here a winner. I know you're exhausted. Just give me one more play.
So now they'll need to answer to keep this game alive. Looking to throw, it's Reed. Oh, and this one's picked off. A huge overtime turnover. Guys, if you want to go strictly by the rankings, I guess this was an upset, but to my eyes, we saw 2 really good teams slug it out, and one of them came out on top.
Yeah, 2 really good teams, man. That's a reason why they're both ranked. They're both really good, and I tell you what, getting this win proves something to everyone else now. Like, I was ranked below this squad. You beat a team that's ranked above you. Now you start to climb up the charts, build some momentum. This squad's about to get some more respect, Palmer.
I think good teams find ways to win games, especially in a game like this.
We always look forward to games like this every season. Teams riding momentum, coming in a clash for national supremacy and trying to make a statement as we get close to the playoffs. Hello and welcome everyone to a game that we've been eagerly awaiting. As we see a squad from the Big 12, the Texas Tech Red Raiders, taking on the 23rd ranked team in the land, the Oklahoma Sooners. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. Raiders will kick it away to start us off. Well, that'll give them good field position as he kicks it. bounds. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. They'll decline the penalty here and let the result of that play stand. To the air, it's Mateer. Quickly out to the tight end. Caught, and he's close to a first down on the nice pickup there. Just a quick rhythm throw there and really good use of the tight end.
Yeah, good use of the big fella. I mean, go through your progressions real quick. You can't find anything, get the easy gain. Don't take a shot down the field all the time. Take those shots later, but take those easy, wide-open opportunities to get some positive chunks.
The Sooners with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Back to pass. Ball's out. Defense scoops it up, and he's headed the other way.
Great job. Defense here forcing the fumble on the wide receiver. Look, understand the ball came out quick. I got to break, get Hats to the football, secure the tackle, try to get that football out. Nice turnover, nice hustle by this defense.
The coach still thinks he was right. The officials say he was not. The challenge is denied, and the timeout is gone.
Okay, ready?
The offense changing the play. Wants to go up top on first down. Makes the grab. It's Valdez. He goes out of bounds right at midfield. And it seems to be a lot easier for the quarterback to find this guy than it is for the defense.
Yeah, and I think this is a guy, Reese, that you can split him out. You can feel comfortable getting the football as many ways as possible because he is one of those matchup problems. Linebackers aren't going to be able to run with him, so try to find ways to maximize that little guy's speed and athletic ability.
And the Red Raiders can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Sends it back in motion. Looking for a man. It's Morton. Rushes on him. Quickly to the tight end. Tackle is made at the 44 after the 5-yard gain and the first down.
Important in the passing game that it's not just receivers doing all the work. You got to get running backs involved. You got to get your big fellas. You got to get the tight ends going too.
Now they'll line it up from the 44 on 1st and 10. Back to the ground game on the left. And this one will be stopped for no gain. The Red Raiders want to move quickly. Looking for room. It's Joyner. He picks up 4. That'll leave them with 3rd and 6.
man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
He's got an open man. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raider.
Yards after catch. That's what this guy gives you. That was a simple slant pass. He caught it, made guys miss, showed you the speed, and it was pay dirt from there. What can you say about this guy's athleticism, man? He is such a weapon.
And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And the final 41 yards covered by that touchdown strike. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. It bounds through the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Looking downfield, it's Mateer. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Finds the tight end. Good call, good execution as they move the chains, and they have a first down at the 38. That throw and catch, a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, David?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open, because you got so many guys that have so much speed that can do so much damage on the field. Find my matchup, get it to him, let him do the rest.
And they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play.
Quarterback trying to attack the middle of the field. I like the aggressive nature, but his receivers aren't 9 feet tall. No one's going to catch that. No one can climb the ladder. You got to bring it down a little bit.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. After the incompletion, they go back up top. Got a man, it's Burks. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short game there.
Well, the short passing game is a great go-to for any offensive coordinator in the first quarter because it's reliable, but it also allows you to see how the defense is going to react and play. So this can certainly open things up later on.
Quarterback gets enough. Big play, takes him into bus territory. He's out of bounds at the 47. The Sooners are flying down the field. Looking to throw on first down. Right down the middle. Got him downfield. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
Man, if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
Dropping back, it's Mateer. He's going for the goal line. Touchdown, Sooners! Haul that baby in and then stroll into the end zone for the score.
And the passing game paying dividends right now for this offense. They just had a big play through the air to get him down in this situation. So let the quarterback deal. Great job reading coverage. Found his open target. Accurate throw in 2 plays through the air, and they've got 6 points on the board.
The extra point here would tie the game. And the point after is good. So that was a 6-play, 75-yard drive. And they cap things off with a 9-yard touchdown pass. And we're all square as he's set to kick it away. That ball skips through the end zone. a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. First play of the drive, wants to throw. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on.
Well, on defense, they know that this offense is going to try and take shots. They're going to try and keep their secondary players in a position to make these types of plays. Good job on the back end forcing that incompletion.
The offense wastes no time getting the timeout called.
Timeout, Texas Tech.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Might be calling a hot route. Looking downfield, it's Morton. Under fire. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
They come to the line facing 3rd and long from the 25. Here's the snap, itching to fire downfield. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, after giving up that touchdown on the opening drive, they had a little bit of a come to Jesus with their defensive coordinator on the sideline. I don't know what he said, but he, I think, just invoked the fear of God into this defense because this 3 and out has been sensational, dominant. This is the way they've got to play moving forward.
Here's the return. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. They'll start this drive from the 42. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. On the move, it's up. And he doesn't find much running room, a short gain on the play.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20 yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
That first quarter set the standard, and we hope we get a lot more of that here in the second. So 2nd down here as we're back at it after the break. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Thomas. Oh, he's got some space. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Old
it's nice to have an offense that can strike immediately. They can put fear in defenses, make big plays, and you see it, man. They can add to the lead. They can build a lead quickly because they have this ability to put points on the board quickly.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. Boy, they didn't exactly milk the clock on that drive, did they? 2 plays and into the end zone for the touchdown. Now to make sure this kickoff team covers it well to not give back that last score. The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. The give to the left. At the 35, he's loose. Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. At the 20. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
Man, this guy is such a weapon because he's so dangerous if he gets into the second level. Great vision, and to him, it shows you the speed.
Just straight wheels, erasing angles. A lot of times when you're chasing guys that are so fast like this, you're like, I got him, I got him. No, I do not. What a big, long touchdown run. Pad those stats, young fella.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Back to pass, it's Mateer. That's caught, it's Sategna. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They'll move the wide receiver. Quick pass on the fly motion. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, and David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of the spot.
And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Well, when you're running the drag route against man coverage like that, as a quarterback, you got to put the ball out in front of your target. And when you do that, you give the guy a chance to then advance the football up the field, pick up a first down like they did right there.
Trying to get the edge on the right. Runs through the tackle. He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You can tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup.
I love this defense's ability to fight off blocks and rally to the football. They do such a great job pursuing that wide receiver screen to only allow a minimal gain and no first down.
They need the 40 to convert here on 3rd down. Wants to throw. It's Mateer. gets it out quickly. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down. That's why you never assume the first guy's going to make the tackle and you have to keep running to the football.
Man, it's something you highlight every single week in defensive meetings. Don't assume somebody's going to make it. Don't assume somebody's going to make it. Take the correct angle. Nice job. First guy misses. Second guy gets him on the ground, forces the fourth down, throws that fist up in the air.
They might go back to that one in the big spot as they pick up the first down out of the Wildcat. Good spot on the field to go for it. They make it pay off. Not willing to settle for a field goal on this drive.
Yeah, and Reese, I just don't know if field goals are going to win this game, honestly. I think to win, I think you need tutties. So this offense needs to stay on the field, stay aggressive, and try and capitalize after picking up that first down.
On the direct snap, it's Tatum. And he forced ahead just a bit. Not a lot working with the Wildcat there.
That's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up, get some movement at the point of attack, and find a little crease for your running back.
They're lining up in the Wildcat. Let's see what they have dialed up for this one. On the snap, it's Tatum. Makes it past the marker. They get him on the ground, but it'll be enough for the first down, and they might mark that down to use the Wildcat again.
And this offense is clicking, everything's moving, and the guy carrying the football, I mean, he is carrying the rock. Like, this is a guy he's setting this tone for this game, creating some balance on this offense. This offense is going to be a handful.
Yeah, David, I'd love to sit here and say, well, the offensive coordinator is just one step ahead of his counterpart across the field. That's not it. Right now, this offensive line is establishing the line of scrimmage, and you mentioned the back. He right now is running with authority on this drive.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Linebackers moving, trying to confuse the quarterback. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Back to throw. It's Mateer. Looking for the end zone. The pass is incomplete, and the clock will stop with 5 seconds left.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. 3rd and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.
They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. On 4th down, they'll try to throw it. Deep shot for the end zone. Touchdown Sooners! Snagged in the end zone to give them 6.
Well, big-time players make big plays in big games. And on that 4th down, final play of the first half, what an unbelievable job making the grab and taking it in for the touchdown. That was huge for the offense, giving them the lead. You just can't do it any better than that.
How about this? These guys are going for 2.
Let's go! Let's go! 6 Propane!
Quarterback keeps it. He's in there. It's good. And how about that to end the half? Touchdown on the final play and a 2-point conversion for good measure. The Sooners will kick it off to start the second half. That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. To throw, it's Morton. Fires left. Got his man downfield. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down.
Not the big fella, the tight end, the wide receiver in a tight end's body going up and making the catch.
They gobbled up a ton of yardage to open this drive, and now in business near midfield at the 49. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Dances away from the pressure, going to his left. A beautifully placed ball to the outside, and the toe drag for the big pickup. Really good patience and recognition. And how about the tight end just finding a hole and settling and waiting until the quarterback saw it?
And the play completely changes. Once my QB gets outside of the pocket, I got to see it, and I got to start working towards him, or if I'm near him, working away. Nice job being on the same page, getting the first down.
And he can't connect on the throw. It's incomplete. Backed up now. Here's second and long. Wants to go up top. Unloads to the wideout. A strike downfield. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's first and goal from the 7.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
And the Red Raiders will try to put one on the board on first and goal. Setting up the screen. Beck's going for the goal line. And he'll haul it in and take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders! After the touchdown, if they could get this too, we'll have a tie ball game. Back to throw, it's Morton. To the end zone, and it's picked off. The 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, inside the 10. He took that baby all the way to the house. A pick 2, as it were.
I love the effort by the field goal unit. They don't just take the play off. They don't hang their heads. They rush the extra point. Look at that. Get their hand up, get a paw on it, pick it up, and take it all the way back for 2 points and gain some momentum for this defense.
Now to make sure this kickoff team covers properly to pay off that last scoring drive. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They'll start this drive going to the air. Intercepted, and the defense has set him up. Taking it the other way. And he will roll into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders!
And this is exactly exactly what you dream about for a defense. Forcing the big turnover, making the pick, and then putting points on the board yourself. Great play by the defense.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And the extra point puts them up by a field goal. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. They'll send the back in motion. To the air, it's Mateer. Got out of trouble and throws. Just a short pass to the tight end. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
Nice quick throw there. It's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find a rhythm and to be comfortable and confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly, make it an accurate and easy throw. And you can tell that these two guys, they rep that play in practice all the time, and it's now showing up here on game day.
Going deep. He's got it inside the 25. Touchdown, Oklahoma. They take the lead with the 6. And after that last touchdown toss, look out, Baker Mayfield record could be going down for single-game touchdown passes.
Yeah, and you think of all the great quarterbacks and the records that they put up with the Sooners, man. It's impressive. And this guy having himself a day, spreading the ball around, touchdowns Palooza. What a nice day.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is good. What a display of explosive capabilities on that drive. 75 yards, 2 plays, and a touchdown. So the kickoff team will come out after they turned in a score on that last drive. The ball squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Wants to adjust the pattern. Motion from the back. Looking to throw, it's Morton. Catch in the middle, it's Carter. And that completion good for a short game, but they still have some work to do to pick up the first down.
Coming into this one, I thought this guy was going to be a monster. He was going to put up huge numbers. We know this is a big part of the offense week in, week out. The defense has done a great job clamping down on him. That is only his second catch so far in this game.
And you're trying to get the ball to the running back quick and let him get some space, but there was absolutely no space. They penetrated quickly, and they got him before he could even get going.
They're going to keep this drive going. They'll have to make a play on 3rd and long from the 26. From the gun, wants to pass. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
Well, in the first half, this offense was up and down the field. It seemed like everything they were dialing up was working. And here we are in the 3rd quarter, and there's a very rare incompletion on their own end of the field. Maybe that's the play the defense needs now to spark some momentum.
They boot it away on 4th down. And he loses the football. Oh, and a burst disaster by falling on his own fumble.
I'm literally walking over to that guy. My man, thank you so much for saving my rump. That could have been really, really bad. I could have been benched, but you got my back. Appreciate you, my man.
Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. He's going to take off. Good run on the play, and he slides to avoid the hit.
Really nice nice job on the scramble that time. He saw an opening. He went out and got the first down with his legs. He's killing this defense right now. Throwing it. He's now doing it running as well. Anything this guy wants to do is working.
They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
Quarterback moving out of the pocket. And the quarterback will take a sack back in the 36. The idea was to sell that play fake. Nobody was buying it.
You're right, Reese. That D-line, they looked like they had their ears pinned back, and they were coming after the quarterback. You saw dudes rush upfield. They got to that QB fast.
So now on second and long, you start to think just don't fall out of field goal range. Looking for a man. It's Mateer. Throws to the tight end. Wide open downfield.
Jackrabbit. Use it.
When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the fourth quarter. They go back to work with a first down in the final period of this one. And it just squirted through his hands. He wanted to take off and got too anxious.
I think a really big key in the RPO game is having really good rhythm and timing. Offense didn't have it there, and that's why it falls incomplete.
It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Second down, he'll throw it. Oh, got his man quickly. Good throwing catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in.
Well, great job making the tackle there. Now setting up third down in your own red zone. This is a stop you have to come up with. You want to give up field goals in this area of the field, not touchdowns.
A designed run for the quarterback. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. They'll keep the offense on the field on fourth down already with a one-possession lead. They'll immediately call timeout.
Timeout, Oklahoma.
They have the lead in a one-possession game, but they're thinking deliver the knockout blow. But this carries big time. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Sooners!
And man, a lot of times late in games, you see offenses, they get very conservative, very predictable, and then they leave it in the hands of their defense. I like this execution, man. The offense continues to do what they do, and they take the two-score lead in the fourth quarter, everything going in their direction.
And the extra point is up and good, and they have an 11-point fourth quarter lead. They marched 58 yards for the touchdown on that one. So after getting into the end zone on that last drive, they're set to kick it away. Bounces through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Running back searching for a hole. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27. The Red Raiders racing to the line in the hurry-up.
And after that run, getting right back up to the line of scrimmage to go hurry up, defense has to be ready.
Give to the running back. They get him stopped at the 32. That's a gain of 4.
And, you know, when we talk about great third down defenses, it really starts with them getting stops on first and second down. You've got to get those stops early in the drives to set up third and long, so that's a missed opportunity on that second down by this defense.
Bought a little time, lets it go.
And this is why coaches get paid the big bucks. Tough decision on your own side of the field. Fourth quarter, I'm trailing. Is it go time now, or do I trust my defense?
Down by multiple possessions. You can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He's going to let one fly down the middle. Incomplete on fourth down, and man, did they need to keep that drive alive.
It was a massive missed opportunity failing on that fourth down, so they're trailing. There's a little bit less than 3 minutes to go here. Their defense has got to be able to get the ball back here quickly for them to have any shot.
Grab behind the line. It's Thomas. There he goes. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Made the grab and took it on in for the score.
And a lot of times late in football games, you'll see offenses get really, really conservative with the lead. I like how this offense didn't go against the clock. They stayed within themselves. They stayed true to who they were. And now, big-time advantage, big-time lead, up by 17 in the fourth quarter.
The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call.
Ready, fight. 42 Spiders, bang.
Off play action on first down. Looking to the big tight end. It's complete. Across the 40, out of bounds at the 41, and a big pickup has this offense on the move.
And this offense is going to have to catch some breaks, man. They're going to have to make some big plays. They're going to have to push the ball down the field, break some tackles, hit some home runs, down 3 possessions in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to do everything right.
I tell you, I love the play call on first down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
Using his legs, it's Joyner. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman. And the Red Raiders will hustle to the line. He might want another play. The 2-minute timeout arrives, and we have certainly seen miracles in college football, and they will certainly need one here. The Red Raiders come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Looking to throw, it's Morton. Grab near the marker, it's Virgil. He's got it out of bounds at the 41-yard line.
Hey, you know, the defense here in this situation with a huge lead, they've got to anticipate that this offense is going to be trying to throw the ball to the sideline, so they've got to work different coverages to try to force the quarterback to go over the middle of the field with the football.
And the Red Raiders will line it up on 1st and 10. Wide receiver comes in motion. Looking downfield on first down. Trying to get behind the defense. Grabs it inside the 10. Down to the 3-yard line, and that's where they'll have it, first and goal.
Let's go. We got some life. We made a big play, something to build off of. We need a lot of points, and we need them quickly. Time's running out. We're trailing big in this ball game.
The Red Raiders trying to get a touchdown on first and goal. Looking to throw. Back's got it. Touchdown, Red Raiders. The offense cashing it in on that drive.
The one thing you know about this offense, they're going to keep fighting, right? They're down on the scoreboard right now, but they're trying everything they can. Nice job there, finding a way to score that touchdown. And listen, we've seen crazier things happen before in college football. This thing ain't over until there's zeros on the clock.
And the extra point is good. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they finish it up with a 3-yard scoring toss. So after getting into the end zone on that last drive, they're set to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. They'll move the tight end. Bringing the heat. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Here he goes. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Sooners.
There's no mercy rule in college football, man. They've got a huge lead here in the fourth quarter. They are still chucking it, and they are still scoring.
And now they'll empty the backfield for the 2-point try. Caught in the backfield. It's Lewis. He's not going to make it. Stop short of the goal line, and they are unable to extend this lead any further.
Oklahoma, 51, Texas Tech, 34.
It bounds through the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Quarterback may change this route. Scanning the field, it's Morton. He's got an open man. Smashes him with the stiff arm. Across the 50 and down and out of bounds at the 44. A good pickup on that one.
Well, this offense has a ton of work left ahead of them here in this 2-minute situation late in the game, but the drive off to a good start. You get the first down, you get out of bounds, you work in the perimeter of the field. That is exactly what you want to do.
Can't get him to the ground. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be second and just a few breaths away from the first down. And the Red Raiders come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. Going to take a shot on second and short. Finds his tight end. And he's brought down after a nice gain. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Just outside the red zone, 1st and 10 from the 21. Use the play fake, now to throw. Gets rid of it. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. You know, we joke that the tight end's always open, David, but play action almost makes it impossible to keep them covered.
And yeah, because those guys, they're such good blockers most of the time. They're big and physical, and they sell block for a second, and then they run open and they...
And he's got it! Touchdown, Red Raiders!
And a nice touchdown, continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
Lining up for the PAT. And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. They put together a 5-play, 75-yard drive. And they finish it up with a 15-yard scoring toss. So after getting into the end zone on that last drive, they're set to kick it away. The returner will field it and try to get some field position. And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. Let's see what they can get going on this drive as they snap it from the 7. To the air, it's Mateer. Makes the catch, it's Sategna. Makes the grab, but not quite enough for the first down, but a good gain on that play. The Sooners want to pick up the tempo. To the air on 2nd down. Here's a heat. And the quarterback goes down all the way back at his 4-yard line. Timeout called by the defense and 15 seconds to go in this one. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. Picked off. What a play to set him up. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
This is frustrating. You know, you're an offense. You're in a great position. You're up by 2 scores. All you do is take care of the football. Premium, taking care of the football. We're trying to run some clock. We're trying to get out of here with a W. Turning the football over is the worst thing you can possibly do.
And here we go. Final play of the game right here. Making side adjustments here. Off the play fake on 1st down. Quarterback adapting. And they got him. Didn't have much of a chance on that one, and a fitting way to put a capper on this game. What a show both of these teams put on today. Couple of outstanding squads. Hotly contested battle all the way to the very end.
Yeah, we came into this one expecting this to be a back-and-forth battle. We knew it was going to go down late into the 4th quarter. At the end of the day, the higher-ranked team, David, they were really able to lean on those playmakers and that leadership they've got in the locker room.
Yeah, and now I think even more so, you're starting to believe in them. They're battle-tested. This team they find a way to get things done. That's why they're ranked where they're at. And I expect this team to stay in contention for the college football playoff because they're proving week in and week out they're a really good squad.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.